Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers take on the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The enthusiasm of this Cincinnati crowd in full effect a moment ago as their Bengals took the field to the delight of this sold-out crowd. And they're all set as they'll match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Godden. To my left, Charles Davis. And, Charles, you focus on this Bengal team entering play. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they coming off their very first loss of the year, suffered a week ago.
Yeah, it will not be a perfect season, but I'm interested to see how they bounce back now that they know that chasing the 1972 Dolphins is out the window.
Now a first carry from Giovanni Bernard. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
It's second down. Dalton looking. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And a big loss here as he's taken down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now he's got daylight. 30, 20. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. In for the score. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. We talk about it a lot. One of the dangers of the long field goal, you got to kind of hit it low and drive it. That makes it susceptible to a block here. Not only do they block it, they return it.
And how about how well they did on the return, where they didn't create a penalty? Oftentimes in that type of a scrambling situation, someone will clip, someone will block below the waist, right? You name it. In this case, though, that didn't happen. They formed it up, and he took it all the way back for a touchdown.
Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one fielded at the 5. And out of return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Bengals getting set to go. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. They'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
3rd and long. What will Dalton dial up? Caught Eifert over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Now Brown. Oh, and this is going to wind up a safety. So give 2 points to the defense. They were in hot pursuit there, and in the end, they force him out of bounds.
You just wondered how he was going to get out of this one, Brandon. We saw him painting himself into a corner, and finally has nowhere to go but out the side of the end zone.
This is brought in at the 21. Skirts by him at the 35. Cincinnati now ready to take the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Second down, Dalton. That's complete to John Ross. First connection there of the afternoon for those two, and it's good for a 1st down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Dalton, 1st and 10 toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. John Ross, the one he was looking for, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it, when you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck, you don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. That was hit, and Dalton lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And Bullock will put this one through. And that will cut the lead down to just 2. And before we can get to the field goal try, time will run out on this first quarter of play. It's a tight game here early. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Bullock out now to kick this one away. Here comes Ryan Switzer to return it. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And an update from the other NFL stadium in Ohio. That's up in Cleveland. And it's the Browns out to the early advantage. Tyrod Taylor leading the charge offensively. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Man open right side. It's Rodgers. A good pick up there, 26 yards. You know, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down, it's Bell. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Well, Charles, Le'Veon Bell, 26 going on 27, and the shelf life of these NFL running backs seems to be getting shorter and shorter. How long can he go at this torrid pace?
Usually we say 30 is kind of the line of demarcation for a running back. But Le'Veon Bell played all 16 games in 2017, takes great care of himself off the field. I think he's got a chance to break through that 30-year-old mark, and in a big way.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Bell, and he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. So stuffed from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create, and if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Second and goal, the lone man in the backfield, Le'Veon Bell. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. And a look at Bell, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. This Bengal defense, they passed the first 2 tests. Now it's 3rd and goal. They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating, will we have to make the call? They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Extra point now by Boswell. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving him a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments and doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. To throw on second down. Dalton. He's going to sling this deep downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On third down, Dalton. They'll set up the screen here to mix it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Officially a minute 54 to go in this first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Boyd. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. And it'll be Dalton again. This is grabbed by A.J. Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And a nice gain of 21 yards. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again.
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well because he figured out quickly, this is going to be my number 1 target. I got to know this guy in a big way.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Despite only needing 1, Dalton to throw. And Eifert has it. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Another chance for Dalton. That's complete right around the 8. get it down to the 7. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. This will be Dalton again. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and toe tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
Switzer now to return. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They go play action here on 1st down. On the crossing route, complete. That's Rodgers. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Off the play fake. Here's Roethlisberger. This will be caught inside the 10. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. And Boswell's kick is good. And that'll boost their lead to 9. It's 17-8. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This fielded at the 2. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. We'll begin with an interesting one in the AFC. The Chargers heading east to take on Cleveland, and it's the Browns who have the lead late in the first half. Josh Gordon, a touchdown reception. From there, we're off to check out another game, and they've got the lead in their matchup with the Tampa Bay Bucs. Matt Ryan with 3 touchdown passes there. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital, see what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And for the moment, they find themselves trailing the visiting Carolina Panthers. The Panthers still in a dogfight, but this would be a good victory for them if they could get it. In the game you've been watching, it was Ben Roethlisberger who led the way offensively in the first half. His guys have the lead as we get you back to Cincinnati for the start of the third quarter. Here's Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Here's the fullback. This is Roosevelt Nix, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Let's face it, you always want a team full of guys who can get you first downs and big plays of all styles, but you've got to have a big man you can just turn and hand it to, and he can be dependable in picking up first downs.
Roethlisberger will hand the counter, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now it appears we have a Steeler here slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we get back. Here's a former 1,000-yard rusher, it's Stephen Ridley, and unable to get. Downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Roethlisberger will throw. Over the middle here to Brown. It'll be a gain of 8, but it also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for the first. And now the up man has it. It's a fake. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. It's such a risky play there to fake it. You're either the hero or the GOAT. Here they're going to be the GOAT.
Unfortunate, too, because you know they thought they had something there. They don't call it just to call it. They don't just say, oh, what the heck, let's go ahead and fake it here. They feel like they've got something on. They've got the defense in the right spot. Just unsuccessful in that opportunity.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They'll run again with Bernard. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And they're going to face a 3rd down. Dalton here from the gun. This one complete to Giovanni Bernard. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So another long try for 3 and another kick that comes up lacking.
Yeah, this isn't going to do any wonders for his field goal percentage, but you have to figure as a head coach that when you send a guy out there to try and kick from that distance, it's a 50-50 proposition at best.
They'll run it, Stephen Ridley, and no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Roethlisberger. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run with Ridley. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he stopped immediately there. The linebacker, Junior Gillette, in on the stop.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Going for the deep ball. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt. for him.
Again, here's Bernard. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on third down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on. Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. To throw on third down, Dalton. He's got his man here. It's Green. The 40, the 20, 10, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, 91 yards. And the Bengals have got it back to a one-score game. And I think it's safe to say we won't call many touchdown passes longer than that this year, Parker.
No, I would agree with that totally. And right now, you're looking at an offensive coordinator. Conservative would not go next to his name. Risk taker, definitely, because he valued the opportunity to create a big play against what could have been disaster if they end up getting sacked or fumbling the ball in the shadow of their own goal line.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And now out come the Steelers. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Oh, incomplete. A turnover would have really helped there, almost intercepted. Instead, it's just second down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Play action. Now Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play. Roethlisberger now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. They go play action with Roethlisberger. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Vontaze Burfict leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. They go play action now. Roethlisberger. And the pressure gets to him again. Carl Lawson in there to drop him, and sacks on 1st and 2nd downs are going to lead to a 3rd and long. Play action. It's Roethlisberger. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Vontaze Burfict in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play action sack. Fielded just inside the 20. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had to go a long way on their last drive to score the touchdown. This time they get at least a little bit more of a cushion with field position.
I have to think that with this field position, after what they did on the last drive, they might want to take a shot right now and try and cut down the length of the drive.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. He gets this one to Boyd. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. Here's Brad Nordman now. On for his 2nd punt. He'd take a repeat of his 1st. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And he will score. Touchdown, Cincinnati. This game, it's been defensively oriented on both sides, so I guess it stands to reason that the play of the game comes on defense.
So it's my kind of game. You know that. Anytime we have a defensive battle, but that, as you said, it stands to reason that's the way the game tilted. Someone had to make a big play, and the way the defenses were dominating, that's exactly what we got.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Switzer now to return. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are...
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. It's a big play. Roethlisberger to Brown. And even 40 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. On second down, Roethlisberger. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for third down. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They face a critical third down now, needing a score here in the late going. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. And now all of a sudden the shoe's kind of on the other foot. Maybe you pull the reins back here a bit?
Yeah, a little bit because you got to make sure that you don't score too quickly.
He'll look to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They'll look to throw. He's got it. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
This defense needs a big play in the worst way because so far they're not putting up much of a fight. If they don't get a stop here soon, this game could be over for them.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They'll give it to Ridley. And no signal yet. I don't think he got in. He didn't. They'll mark him at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
Now Roethlisberger, that's caught at the 2. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this 4th quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. All right, here now a look at A.J. Green. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense. In other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
Back to throw. He completes it to Boyd. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very Manageable 2nd and 1. Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 48, and the return across midfield into the 46-yard line.
I do know that Joe Hayden was used to winning a lot of games at the University of Florida. And when it comes time for a big play in a big situation, he wants to be that guy, and he just pulled it off.
Yeah, he pulled it off, indeed, a huge interception to help put this game on ice. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now the Bengals going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. Now Ridley down right around the 25. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. And that carry probably not so much for yardage, just to get the spot that you want to kick the field goal.
And any yardage you gain there is really kind of gravy, and this just becomes what my old coach used to say, get into position to be in position. And that's what they want, the right spot for their kicker to line up the field goal.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Steelers, their strong start to the year continues as they're up to 5-1. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. The loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll try to get ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.